What's up, guys? At it again with another 8-speed video. Finally, so if you saw the first video, you know nothing really happened. I pretty much went through it all. Told you guys about how the 6-speed is pulled. 6 speeds pulled. Obviously everything corresponding to that. T-case is pulled, drive shaft, yada yada. Today, we're finally actually gonna do some stuff. Like I said in the previous video, going through this, I'm just learning more and more of what I need and kind of forgetting, remembering, yada yada. So today, the agenda is, I actually got a new pan coming. So these pans, these Mopar pans, the filter is built inside here and you can't replace it. Some people buy Dorman pans and they have replaceable filters. I bought a PPE, I can't remember what it stands for, Pacific something engineering or something. Pacific Performance Engineering, I think. It's a cast aluminum pan. It's deeper, it holds like 2 more quarts, and it also has a bung for like a sensor, and I can't see trans temp, and I already have a sensor set up for my 6-speed, and it's the same thread pitch and everything, so it's perfect. So I bought that, it was like 350 bucks, but it'd be a nice pan upgrade and hold some more fluid, and I can read temp off of it. It's gonna be great. That's not here yet. The only reason I'm keeping this and haven't thrown it away is because we can put it on the bottom of this and use it to like lift the trans up, and if I screw this pan up, who cares? These are my flex plate bolts, ARP flex plate bolts. Today the agenda is, sorry I got off track. Today the agenda is I'm going to bolt my TCM back on, or clip my TCM back on my valve body and bolt the valve body back into here. Get this fully sealed back up, and then we are also, these have a like a heater cooler type of deal on the side of them. They have like cool and run to them and yada yada. We ain't doing none of that. Pulled that off. It's literally just 2 bolts. The whole thing comes off. I think I have it over here to show you what it is, what exactly I'm talking about. This guy right here, this big brick thing. It's on the side. It was on the side of the trans. Pulled that off and simply just going to run our own lines. So we're gonna tap these holes. We bought some. I got some actual fittings, like AN fittings, coming. So we're gonna tap these and then plumb what we can of the lines. I have my pilot bushing, I have the converter. I'm still waiting on my, the new, I don't know what they call it, like a dust shield spacer plate thing. That thing behind the flex plate that's hanging. Still waiting on a new one of those. So once I have that, then we can throw the trans in the truck. All right, I'm gonna throw this on. So this is your TCM. It clips onto here, just like this. These pins go into their designated holes. 1 second. Okay, so I know I didn't record this coming off. Like I said, this has locating pins to slide into the valve body, and then it clips into all the solenoids. These are all the bolts for taking it actually out of the trans. These 5, they're a little smaller if you can't tell, but there will be 5 different bolts that screw the TCM actually onto the valve body. Then the rest of these bigger headed Torx bolts hold it into the trans. So just you can kind of look through here when you're taking it off. You can look through the TCM and see which ones bolt this on, because obviously you don't want to take any of these apart if you don't have to. So I'm going to put these back in, and then we'll put it back in the trans.
Anyway, it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning. We got back up the next morning to hit the road. But Poland has to be back at work at Nitrous Express on Tuesday morning.
All right, valve body's in. The valve body to case bolts are 10 foot-pounds. And then when you take this out too and put this back in, like this is basically how it sits when you pull the pan off. You gotta pull this tab up, and then it will let you pull this connector piece out. and then you can unbolt the valve body and pull it off. But I got the piece in there. Got to tighten those four, and then she'll be good to go. Tighten up the output shaft speed sensor, and we'll be good. All right, I got the new pilot bushing. I put it in the freezer so that it slides in there a lot easier. This might honestly just slide right in. How cold this thing is. Wow, it's starting to burn my hand.
Yeah, it hurts almost.
Let's see if it goes in there. Oh, nope, I'm gonna need a hammer. All right, new pilot bushing's in. So now, like I said, we can't really go any further. He got the, where are the trans lines? Oh, right there. So he cut the lines, he put compression fittings on. So now they're AN connections, and then I'm waiting on this piece. Waiting on this piece. Once I get that, we can put that on, put the new flex plate on, and then the trans can go in, and then we can figure out lines and all that kind of stuff, and then do all the back stuff. All right, so just wanted to make a note of this because it was throwing us off for the last hour or so. I went to go throw this one on. So this is the 6-speed flex plate, and if you notice, there's a concave side to one side and like a flatness to the other. And the 6-speed ones, the concave side goes toward the converter. And when I went to go put this on, I put it on the same way, the dish toward the trans, and none of the holes lined up. Me and Ryan flipped it around 100 times, couldn't get the holes to line up. Found out that it actually does flip around and the welds stick out, so the welds point toward the transmission, and then you got to turn around and the holes will eventually line up. Got ARP bolts with blue Loctite. Gonna put those on, torque them down, and we're gonna throw the trans in.
You're not cockeyed with it.
Yeah.
I see people do that. And they gotta put the converter in, and I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't line up at all. Well, because you got crooked in there.
Also, why do both of these that I've got in right now,
Is that ain't kind of sticky?
no, they get tight and they're not even close to being close to the flywheel.
Can you still twist them by hand?
No,
There's
they
still some Loctite, I think, in those holes.
They stop. Well, bolts that I got from ARP. Well, I got them from Summit, but they're ARP.
I don't think they're too long.
How are they not? They both stop immediately.
I'm throwing this one almost all the way in my hand.
Really?
Well, maybe not. Hand me just a regular ratchet with that socket.
Alright guys, I lied again. It is not the length of the bolt. Apparently I ordered flywheel bolts and not flex plate bolts. And it goes to about right here. Boom. And these bolts have a shank on them with no threads, and it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit wider. And that shank stops that bolt from going any further. So that's cool. Alright guys, new day. It's trans going in day. So, like the last clip I showed, if I didn't, I'll just reiterate real quick. Had a fiasco with the flywheel or the flex plate, not figuring out how to put it on. Turns out it's 180 from the 6-speed one, and then the ARP bolts that I got were not correct. They were for a flywheel and not a flex plate. So the shank on them was a little bigger. The old ones I learned are not torque to yield. So I tried to get new ones, couldn't get new ones in time, and I just reused these ones, put some blue Loctite on them, and torqued them down to 70 foot-pounds. So the plate's on, flywheel's on, or flex plate's on, and now we're gonna throw the 8-speed in, or attempt to.
Do you need help getting bags? Last time we saw it, it was literally a newborn.
I think that's all it is.
Yeah. Well, freak out, it isn't hard to get any clearance right there, so definitely it. Now we gotta figure out how to slide this thing closer. Yeah, but this one just...
Hey, pull on that jack, Zach, when they Yeah, there you go, Connor. Slide it. There you go. There you go. There you go. Very good. Very good.
Where's my camera guy? You getting this?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we're about touching the flex plate, so we can keep going up.
Keeping an eye on some of the wiring right here.
It ain't the biggest deal because we ain't using much of it, but I'm sure.
Is the harness on the right side of the trans?
It don't really matter. Well, it comes out from the top anyway.
Don't kick me in the face.
You need to drape over, like, is it-
Yeah, which side does he
drape
drape
on?
I mean, that one's gonna drape on that side, but again, okay, guys, I'm sorry, all my lights died, and my camera guy had to leave. But after about an hour of screwing around, the 8-speed is officially in the truck. Converter's in, pilot bushing's in, new flex plate. Don't have the mount yet, so that's what this is for. I'm gonna put a Jackson under that too, but other than that, we are good. She's bolted up. So that's about good for tonight for me. Tomorrow, plan is, I don't have my new mount yet, but plan is we'll get the converter bolted up, everything like that, a bracket under the trans, a starter, and I'll probably put the new or the old trans mount in and put the T-case on and see where it lines up in the cross member. Like I said, I'll probably have to, I'll show you guys this, but I'll probably have to like Dremel out the holes in the slots in the cross member so that it has room to go back. And then I want to see if the drive shaft fits. So a couple things to do, and then after that I'll be done for this video, and then the next video will be wiring it up and starting it. So I'm nervous, but putting this trans in got me excited. But I'm nervous that I know I'm gonna go to start this thing up and something's gonna happen. Something's gonna be wrong or whatever. But that's why I want to get it going, because I know something wrong is gonna happen, and I'm trying to take this to an event on June 25th, and I would like to have a weekish worth of stuff of like driving around, make sure it's good before I take it on a take it 3.5 hours north. But we'll see. All right, guys, it's the next day. Like you previously just saw, the trans is in. I went ahead and tightened up all the trans to motor bell housing bolts, and then on both the 6-speed and the 8-speed, doesn't matter, there's a plate right here that goes right here. It's that one, and it sits right in between the pan and the trans, and that's what you take off to get to your converter bolts. It's a little pain, it's a little bit of a pain to see these converter bolts, but I did. You can over on the starter side, because the 8-speeds have 2 bolts per, there's like 3 locations and there's 2 bolts per location, and I lined them up right there because it's really easy to get my hand there. And then there's a starter hole. Starter hole is right there. You can take your finger and turn the converter and line the holes up. So that's what I did, and I'm gonna go ahead and put those bolts in. All right, threw some Loctite on the bolts. Like I said, there's 2 here, 2 in another spot, 2 in another spot, 6 total. Finger tighten them all to the flex plate, and then I tightened this one, and you can see, let me get this light off a little bit. You can see it pulled, it actually, since these were all snug to the flex plate, actually when I tightened that one up, it pulled the converter in toward the motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually tighten all these up and then tighten them down fully.
Absolutely want that, because if your converter doesn't have pull out, you're gonna ruin the pump and your thrust bearing.
All right, converter bolts are tight. Did you get the lines finished?
No, because you're on the way.
Well, besides that.
Because the lines are literally above your 6
No kidding. My 6 head getting a little out of control there. All right, so I guess I'll go to the back then, and I'll start putting the T-case in and stuff.
It'd be sure be nice if Nathan came and helped us.
Yeah, sure would be nice. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that.
All right, Ryan got the trans plumbed. Fittings are in the side of the trans. AN fittings to a 90, to some AN hose, and then compression fittings to the existing lines. I had no problem in my last trans keeping it well under like 160 all the time, so I just figured I'd use the factory cooler that came with a 6-speed, and I'll just put these lines into it. Next, we're gonna kind of wait to get this all set up we want to start on the wiring. So we might start with that. What the frick are you doing up here? Holy! You know what you're doing?
No.
I didn't think so. We're running the harness through the existing shifter cable linkage grommet.
Yeah, it don't fit.
Because you obviously don't need that.
Yeah, it don't fit.
You serious? Or no?
Doc, why would it not be serious?
I don't know. Because you got jokes.
As a tuner, you just can't trust the driver. Even
Does that come apart? Okay. So, like I said, the harness goes through the shifter, original shifter grommet. You and Ryan had to take apart the actual trans, with a part that connects to the back of the trans to be able to get it through the grommet. But all the stuff through. The other stuff is my wideband and my temp sensor. But sweet. All right, we're kind of at a weird standstill with the wiring because we don't know right now where this purple C4 CAN connector goes, and if we're probably gonna have to cut it and wire it into a certain wire harness. In the meantime, I've got a lot of stuff wrapped up underneath. Got all the brackets for the front wrapped up, but the rear, I tried putting the trans mount on. Turns out the 6 and 8 speed are different. I have one on the way, it just ain't here yet, and it's kind of stressing me out. So I couldn't put the crossmember or the trans mount in, but I am gonna go ahead and throw the T-case on and be done for tonight at least.
Y'all set up over there, Superstar?
Oh, now when I hit it again. Sure, good enough for who it's for. Keep going.
Justin's the only one watching anyway. He's your number one fan.
Yeah, Justin, if you see this part, everything you own is slowing on faster than you.
I'm rolling in.
Okay. I think I have to go down more actually. Just a little bit. Yep. There it is. Okay, I'm just missing one nut. Find that later. Last thing I want to do is check the drive shaft. Okay, T-case is in. I'm gonna check drive shaft length. I actually really thought this was gonna be a lot further back because I don't know. I'm really praying the drive shaft works, but there's no promises. All right, that's all the way in. I know that's not where it's gonna want to sit, but that's all the way in, and I think this is gonna hit the diff still. Let's find out. Oh boy. Let me take these bolts out. Okay, so Ryan's gonna jack up on the diff and watch. Hold on. It is pulling the drive shaft out. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, go. Go. Yeah, it's pulling it out. That's good. Alright guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for this video. Next video, we're going to get into the wiring and get it started. We already kind of started with the wiring in this one, but we're going to finish the wiring, get it started, and go from there. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are, if you guys are looking to do an 8-speed swap to your Ram or any Mopar product, at least you're hopefully learning something. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next vlog.